Oh my god! I'm so mad! Oh my god, why? Why is it so complicated? Somebody help me, I'm so confused. Hi friends, welcome to another reading vlog. This is going to be the first reading vlog of 2021 and I am thoroughly excited. I just noticed, hold up, Mr. Pingu is butt front and that's kind of rude. If you don't already know, I think I've talked about this in live stream that I was already planning this, but you've already seen the title, so I don't even know why I'm saying this. But today is gonna be all about reading Tiffany D Jackson, as you can see by the books behind me. Hello, Miss Tiffany D Jackson, hello. So I'm gonna be reading Tiffany D Jackson for the next few days and I am so incredibly excited. I know Tiffany D Jackson is a lot of people's favorite author. I know people adore Grown and Monday's Not Coming. I know she has other works out, but I think those two are her most famous works. And of course, I have to dress in my yellow, almost like Kill Bill, you know, hoodie situation so that I can match the book. So it's a cute moment. We are matching and I'm going to start this book tonight. My aim is get at least halfway through Grown tonight. Maybe that is possible. And then finish this tomorrow morning and throughout the day before my live stream at 7, because tomorrow is Friday. We have weekly reading sprints and I titled my reading sprints with Detective Mel Reads, because I am gonna be playing detective with Monday's Not Coming. You already know it. So I'm gonna be starting with Grown just because I know I can get through this one quicker, and then I'm gonna put my detective glasses on and I'm going to crack the case open and I'm going to guess the plot twist in Monday's Not Coming. I'm manifesting it. Put your bets right now in the comment. Do you think I'll be able to crack the plot twist in Monday's Not Coming or not? Let me know. Anyways, that's beside the point. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and start reading Grown right now because I really want to get further ahead into this book tonight. Just have to say super quickly, I appreciate Tiffany D Jackson. I literally opened the book, okay? Trigger warnings, and it's the way I'd never opened this book, so I had no idea, but it has the content warnings in the front, and I just wish every single publisher, I don't know if it's up to the author or if it's up to the publisher, but I wish they do this more often. Sometimes it's hard to find those resources that tell you exactly what trigger warnings books have, and so it'd be incredibly nice for there to be the trigger warnings at the beginning of the book. The trigger warnings are mentions of sexual abuse, rape, assault, child abuse, kidnapping, and addiction of opioids. Now, without further ado, we've got part 1, okay? I'll be back when I have updates. I am not that far into Grown. I'm only 38 pages in. We just got the scene where Corey meets Enchanted, where Enchanted meets Corey, I should say. The way that this 28-year-old guy just approaches a 17-year-old, grabs her by the waist, touches her stomach, and starts caressing her back to show her how to breathe. That is just a breach of privacy right there, and I don't like it, okay? That is the first sign. He is literally 11 years older. Step away, okay? I will defend Enchanted Jones till my last breath. Step the freak away. Okay, friends, hello. It is the next day. I have not read anything of Grown today, but I'm about to sit down and continue reading. I am about 64 pages into Grown, and let me just update you real quick on this one scene that really bothered me because I was about to throw hands with Corey Fields real quick. So Enchanted goes to Corey's concert. She goes as a VIP, she feels super important. Girl get that ticket, she goes backstage, all is great, all is well. Except Corey Fields literally asks his bodyguard to take her parents away so that he can like sneakily talk to her, exchanges phone numbers with a 17-year-old, and then starts texting her every single day asking how she is, what she's doing. They start exchanging like these texts, telling each other how they feel through songs, just to like be all deep. Not only that, but also one day he asks her like, are you reading? And she's like, oh yeah, I'm reading Twilight, right? Innocent, all is great. And then he tells her, I want you to read 50 Shades of Grey and take notes while you read. I know exactly where that's going and I don't like it. Chanta just went through her altercation with Creighton. I knew she was gonna call Corey because that's like her only constant right now. But the way that she goes into this conversation with Corey to just vent and tell him exactly what happened and seek a safe haven, and he immediately starts manipulating her, like mentally manipulating her into trusting him, is insane. She literally tells him, she asks him if he thinks that Creighton wanted to do something to her. And he goes, oh yeah, absolutely yes. They don't even bother to ask how your day was or to talk about your favorite Disney movie, trying to paint himself as the good guy to get in her good graces. And then he starts joking around, and then he says, I like my ladies awake and enjoying themselves. And I already know when whatever happens, I am going to be so pissed off. I already know I'm gonna want to throw hands so bad. I don't know how graphic the book will get, but that alone is not a good sign. Okay, I am now on page 139. The way that this man trying to use verses from the Bible or making his own stuff up in order to coerce her into agreeing to be in this relationship, or to agree to wear a tighter dress or to wear a wig because he doesn't want her to be bald. He literally told her, wear a dress a size down because I don't want you to hide your curves. I'll keep reading. Oh my God, I'm so mad. It's just sickening how a 28-year-old man could essentially hold a 17-year-old captive, lock her in a room with a bucket, not let her go to the bathroom, deny her water, deny her food, deny her a phone call, take away her phone, take away all of her basic needs, and excuse that as love, and use words from the Bible to excuse his behavior. I think that is the part that is really sending me out here. I just need Enchanted to somehow get out of this situation, because at the point where we are on in this book, page 222, things are just getting worse and worse. He is literally drugging her, emotionally manipulating her, verbally abusing her, and again, physically abusing her too, because he's also hitting her. He is sexually abusing this girl, and on top of all of that, he is also keeping a 15-year-old captive. And the fact that he made Enchanted promise that she'd stay with him forever, because if she didn't, he'd kill himself. Yo, that is so sick. That is so freaking sick and twisted, and I cannot believe he is making a 15-year-old girl satisfy his sexual needs. The worst thing is that they're mentioning that there's been others and that there are others. So how many teenagers exactly does he hold? And you can see how all of those layers of niceties, all of those masks that he had on, slowly started peeling away to reveal the monster that he truly is. And I am just so damn angry, because I know that these things have happened in real life, and that have happened in real life, and that is what makes me so freaking mad about this situation. And the way that the book is written, it isn't overly flowery or anything. Like, it's just, it reminds me in a way of the way that R.F. Kuang wrote The Poppy War. It's straightforward. It's meant to tell you things straight as they are. It's not meant to sugarcoat anything. You can see those little slips that Corey has in which that anger starts coming through. You can see all of Enchanted's emotions. It's just heartbreaking to see how much of that emotional manipulation is getting to her, because it's definitely getting to her. I'm just gonna keep reading. I don't know when I'll update you guys again. I'll just keep on reading, but it's a lot. Okay, what the hell is happening with this damn book? So I am literally starting part 4. So nobody knows Gab. Gab is like non-existent right now. Her phone number is not her phone number. Suddenly Corey Fields is freaking married. I'm gonna be bold here and say, I don't know if Gab is gonna be entirely fictional. Like, I don't know if she's just like a fragment of Enchanted's mind. Okay, Okay friends, it's been a few weeks since I finished Grown. We are in fact in February. So I have obviously finished Grown by Tiffany D by now. This book messed me up, starting from the fact that it definitely put me into a minor slump after finishing it. Obviously in Grown, we follow Enchanted Jones, who has big dreams of becoming a professional recording artist. That is what she has been dreaming of since she was really young, except that she has not really been able to pursue that dream. Her parents have a very different outlook on life and on what she should do as a teenager, and she has been kind of forced to grow up very fast as opposed to other kids that she has known. She is definitely a big provider to her family in the sense of she is taking care of her younger siblings, she is feeding them, taking care of them on an everyday basis, which is technically something that she is not meant to be doing at 17 years old. She is on the swim team as one of her extracurricular activities, but besides that, she is writing and recording her own songs because again, that is what she wants to do professionally. And she ends up kind of fooling her mom into thinking that there is a swim meet that is a few hours away from where they live. And in fact, there is no swim meet. She ends up going to this singing competition that she is hopefully gonna get into once she auditions. And once she goes and auditions, her dreams get crushed because she is told that she needs improving, she does not fit the mold, and that she should try out next time. In that very competition, she ends up meeting Corey Fields, which is the other protagonist in this book. Corey Fields is this very big, famous recording artist. A lot of people look up to him, and we get that first encounter, which to me was very shocking. I was not expecting the book to get into that so quickly, and there was a breach of safe space, there was a breach of privacy in that very first chapter where they meet, in which he touches her and starts caressing her back and teaches her how to breathe. And that is the first sign that we get that this man could have a little bit more of an ulterior motive than meets the eye. In that very first meeting, they also exchange numbers and they start going back and forth talking about their days. They start exchanging what to the outside world would look like these very cute songs, exchanging their feelings and their thoughts on their day through songs because that is the language that the both of them speak best. Corey very quickly starts telling Enchanted that she is all that she has all of the talent, all of the looks, and that he personally wants to mentor her in her journey into becoming a recording artist that could potentially sell millions and millions of albums. And she definitely believes him because again, to the outside look, he looks very innocent. Keep in mind though, Enchanted is 17, Corey Fields is 28. There is an 11-year gap between these two people, and we see that relationship that they have, which at the very beginning is friendly, mentor-like, and we see that shift into a more romantic-esque relationship. And Enchanted, seeing as her best friend Gab is also dating an older guy who is in college, there is a 3-year age gap between them, I believe. She sees that example and she sets herself in those same shoes of saying, if my best friend is dating this older guy, I can also date an older guy and it's okay. And that is where the real story begins, because Corey is obviously showering Enchanted with compliments and saying how you're not like other girls, you're more grown, you're more mature, you're unlike anything I have encountered before, your talent, your maturity, your personality. And that is where the emotional manipulation starts and where the real story starts kicking in. And the conversation that Tiffany D definitely wanted to bring up, it is not about a girl who should have known better, that should have stayed away from a grown-ass man. That is not the conversation in this book. The conversation is about a man who knew better. And this is very much inspired on the R. Kelly case. And this is very much inspired also on real stories of women dating older men who took advantage of them. And that is always a conversation that we see brought up with rape culture and assault, powerful men, even with regular men, and how society paints the woman to be the guilty one. She is trying to bring this man down just because he has the fame, just because he is successful, just because he has the money, and she is trying to bring all of that success and reputation down. And it is always infuriating to see cases such as those where the girl ends up being subjected to all of this mistreatment, not only by what she has already gone through, but by the media and by the general public as well. And that is what I love about this book so much, is the fact that that picture of the guy knowing better and the guy being the guilty one in the situation was painted so perfectly, because you get to see the flip side of it and you get to see all of that physical abuse, you get to see all of that emotional abuse, which is the biggest part of the story and is the biggest part of how Corey Fields in this book keeps Enchanted reeled into his grasp. It was crazy to see all of that play out in this book, and it was also so heartbreaking to see Enchanted be subjected by this grown-ass man to all of these things that she definitely, most certainly, did not sign up for. And you can certainly tell that this is a grown 28-year-old man who is practiced in this manner, who knows exactly what to say and what to do to keep minors in his household to do as he pleases. And that is, of course, tons of people around Corey Fields that in this book are also complicit with what is happening. People who turn a blind eye to what he is doing and let him do exactly as he pleases, and afterward, if anything comes out to the light of day, they are willing, because of his money and his power, to brush everything under the rug and let him keep doing his thing. And that is another powerful conversation established in this book. Money can unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because in this case it is unfortunate, it can buy you absolutely anything, from silence all the way to compliance from the police force. And that brings us to another point that the book addresses incredibly well about how the social judicial system does not pay attention to Black lives, especially in this book, a young Black girl who is clearly being abused by this old man, and nobody is willing to do anything about it because they do not believe the victim. And you can see how knee-deep Enchanted is into this manipulation. There is a one moment in the book where he has another girl that he is holding captive that is going literally down on him, and Enchanted starts questioning why he is with that girl and what she has done wrong that he is not with her, and if that other girl was sent there to show Enchanted exactly what she should be doing to keep Corey's attention. It was so heartbreaking to see Enchanted, who was such a hopeful girl, who had all of these big dreams and aspirations, again be subjected to a life that she never signed up for. This book obviously ends up turning into a murder mystery from the very beginning because Corey is dead. That is not a spoiler, that is literally a part of the synopsis. The book starts out like that, and that was also very interesting to see because that part of the book plays a lot psychologically with the reader, because you are constantly wondering what did or did not happen, and the end of the book is just a testament to that, because the end of the book completely messed up with me, and I think I really sucked at vlogging the final portion of this book. This book, 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely fantastic. And I think it's a book that is targeted towards the right market. It is a young adult contemporary mystery book that I do recommend young teenagers reading so that they inform themselves on this topic and so that they see, although it does have trigger warnings, so that they can see how abuse takes different forms, how it takes different shapes, and how it presents themselves depending on the person to young girls out there that need protecting, that need to take care of themselves, because predators like these are unfortunately out everywhere. So those are all my thoughts on Grown, or at least the ones that come to the top of my head. I may be forgetting so many things that I could chat about. Now it's time for us to get into Monday's Not Coming. I'm gonna show you all of my reactions as I go, and then we're gonna go into the review portion for Monday's Not Coming. Okay, so I am currently on page 31 of Monday's Not Coming, and I've got a lot of predictions so far. I might be wrong with all of them. So my first one is Monday possibly alive? I feel like that is definitely one theory that could be obvious, but basing myself off of Grown, which I've already read and finished, the twist in Grown was not that crazy. Like, it was right in front of you. It was only the very last page that made you question everything that had happened before. So Monday has this one line where she says, you can't just play sick, you're gonna have to drop out. So at the beginning of the book, we see that Monday is not even on the call sheet in school. So somebody took her out of school. Was it her mom or was it herself? Because, I mean, it's gonna sound crazy, but some kids are willing to do anything, especially if it's out of self-preservation, which Claudia has already mentioned that Monday's sense of self-preservation is really, really big. So that is definitely one. Maybe Monday Monday's alive and hiding from her mom that has definitely gone down a rabbit hole of substance abuse. But Claudia just mentioned too, balls were just drawn to her, and I hated the idea of sharing her. And there's been a lot of comments of Monday having her own body now and growing into it. She is maturing into her own body, like coming into it. Crazy theory, but maybe did Claudia like lug her somewhere out of like possessiveness? I know it's like super out there, it's like super insane. I definitely think that one is wrong, but I'm also suspecting Claudia's parents. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like every time she's mentioned Monday, her mom's like trying to brush it off in the nicest way possible, and that can also go kind of wrong. So I'm really enjoying the writing on this one, and I feel like I'm enjoying the writing on this one a lot more than I did Grown. Hello friends, I look kind of trash right now, but it's the next day. I'm literally on Jaleesa's sprints as we speak, but I'm on page 170, and I'm not even afraid to say that I am so confused right now. Like, I have no idea what's happening at this point. Everyone is acting so weird, and I feel like the further I get on with the book, the weirder people start acting, and I am just so confused. Somebody help me, I'm so confused. If there's anything I know about Tiffany D. Jackson, is that she always talks about injustice in the Black community, particularly with Black girls, and how the entire judicial system pays no attention to those cases. So maybe Monday was kidnapped. I just don't know by who. But my best bet is one of the parents. Okay, another weird thing happened where they were helping around with the food, and this old lady, Miss Swaby, she says, really? I could have sworn I just saw her yesterday. And then Claudia brushes it off like, oh, the church elders, they have the worst memory. But this is the second person who in this book has said, oh, I thought I saw her going through the hall, or I thought I saw her yesterday. So now I'm wondering, like, is she really being held captive, or is she simply like running away from home because of the abuse that she has had to endure, and so she truly wanted to escape that? And that just makes me think that maybe this could be domestic. Maybe Monday could be like locked up somewhere. I love that I literally read one page and I'm back. I am now, since the very beginning, I've been kind of sus of Claudia's dad and her mom. I just didn't know how that could play out, but now I'm definitely sus of the dad, because the dad now is preaching that without Monday, Claudia is stepping out of her shell, and that's exactly what she needed. And I'll read this verbatim. You should have seen her today, hostess with the mostest. If Monday were around, I don't think she would have talked to half the people that walked in there today. They'd be in a corner. Well, sometimes the people we love the most can hurt us the most. She'll need to learn that disappointments are just a part of life. And her dad is never around. Her dad is literally never in any scenes unless he's coming back from somewhere. Could it possibly be Claudia's dad is the question. Maybe? I feel like I'm wrong too. All right, everyone, hello. It's early, relatively early. I mean, it's almost 11 a.m. I literally have to go into a live stream just now. Haven't had the greatest of days, but I am really determined to go into this live stream and just make the best out of my day. I really need to finish Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson, so I'm gonna be here recording my last reactions. I still have roughly around 200 pages to go with this book, so I really have to finish this. I'm determined to finish this on the live, okay people, on the live stream. Yo, what the freaking hell just happened in this book? Everything makes so much, oh my god. So I just read like the plot twist in the book, which is what everyone said, oh, you're never gonna guess it, Mel, like you're never gonna guess that plot twist. They were totally right. I would have never guessed this, like ever. There was no way, no indication. This happened 2 years in the past. Are you freaking kidding me? Y'all, I'm ashamed. I don't even want to show my face right now. I was so off. Okay, let us crack the case. So if this happened 2 years in the past, that means that after is after the 2 years, or after Claudia remembered, and then the before. Wait, yo, hold up. I'm getting a brain fart. Give me a second. The before is when she found out for the first time 2 years ago, and then before the before was a year before Monday disappeared, and then 1 year before the before. Oh my god, why is it so complicated? I finished the book. I'm confused. Like, am I the only one that's confused, or is the ending actually confusing? Because I am confused. I really feel like I need to FaceTime some people so that I can clear out my head. Okay, friends, same shirt, same day. It is still a month later after I've read these books. Really needed to get my thoughts together, especially with Monday's Not Coming, which is the last book that I'm going to be reviewing in this reading vlog. Now, Monday's Not Coming is a little bit more tricky for me because at the time I feel I was so much more focused on coming up with theories that I completely neglected the updating portion of the actual vlog. So I am here finally with my thoughts together to break down this book, which is again a lot to unpack. So in Monday's Not Coming, we follow Claudia, who is best friends with Monday. They have been doing everything together since they were very, very young. In fact, Claudia has developed this codependency with Monday. Monday helps her with her homework, to correct all of her papers, and she, to an extent, becomes very possessive and very controlling over Monday. And lo and behold, when these girls hit their young teenage years, one day Claudia comes for the first day of school, and Monday is not there. She looks and looks and looks, and she waits some more, and Monday is nowhere to be seen. Monday has disappeared, and nobody is making a big deal out of it. Nobody is paying attention to this issue, and she is trying to seek answers for herself because clearly nobody is doing anything about it. And even Monday's own family, her mom and her sister, are doing absolutely nothing to answer Claudia's questions. This book was a wild ride. A wild ride of absolutely everything, from Monday's disappearance to the way that Claudia was seeking answers and processing the entire situation, all the way up to the conversation on the social and judicial system, which is again a topic that we talked about with Grown. This comes in again with Monday's Not Coming. Because we were so much on the subject of whether I'd be able to crack the plot twist or not, I definitely did not see the plot twist coming in this book. I was just so freaking shocked by the reveal when we finally find out that Monday actually went missing 2 years in the past, and they found her body 2 years in the past, but we don't see any of this because Claudia's body, her brain, almost as a method of self-defense, because she cannot process or handle these things, she goes into this period of amnesia where she constantly forgets what happened, and she resets and continuously goes back to that mental space when Monday was missing, and she is trying to find her. That part I never would have guessed. There was never a single moment where that even crossed my mind, so it was absolutely insane to get to that plot twist and to see exactly what those chapter titles meant, and to see exactly why we went from the before to a year before the before. There were so many different timelines in this book that you never end up questioning why there are so many up until you find out at the very end of the book. And the reveal in this book was more along the lines of what I was guessing, but even reading it was still so heartbreaking and just so, I don't even know how to put into words exactly how I felt reading that, because it is the unfortunate reality of what a lot of families and young people have to go through and people don't pay attention to. It was so heartbreaking to read about that because it was so real. Before I get into that conversation, this book read very young to me, and it makes a lot of sense, especially with Claudia's headspace. She is constantly resetting and going back to that headspace from the past, and so there is a certain level of undevelopment that we get, so that's why she feels so young, because not even Claudia knows how to process all of that is happening. And so that part to me was a little bit hard to get into. And at the beginning, I did say, again, I was kind of enjoying the writing a little bit more with Monday's Not Coming than I did with Grown. But the more that I kept going with Monday's Not Coming, it started becoming more and more apparent to me that I was not necessarily vibing with that aspect of the book. With that comes that dependency that Claudia developed with Monday, where if Monday didn't do a certain thing, she wasn't gonna do a certain thing. If Monday wouldn't help her with her homework, she wouldn't do her homework. And when Monday started getting more attention, when she started coming into her own body and she finally started maturing, she was jealous and she felt possessive over how people were viewing Monday because she was not being viewed that way, because she did not like the way that people were addressing Monday. And so it very much felt like if Monday was not at the same level that she was, Claudia wanted nothing to do with it, and vice versa. And we also see how that takes place with Monday towards the end of the book, when April is telling Claudia that Monday did all that she did just to keep Claudia appeased, just to keep Claudia at bay, because she knew that Claudia didn't like any of those things, and that behind the scenes Monday was dating, and she was doing things that weren't necessarily what you'd expect a 14-year-old to do, things that again Claudia wouldn't necessarily want or agree with. And I personally do think the more that I assimilate that type of conversation, it is very important to bring that up. It is very current, and it will continue to be current, because people develop that codependency not only with their friends but in relationships as well, and it's not necessarily healthy. So that aspect of the book, even though at times I did find it kind of, I don't want to say the word annoying, but that's the first one that comes to mind, it still very much made sense to me, and I still very much like that conversation. The main plot and the reveal in this book is what I really want to unpack here, because that is the most important part of the book. It really started coming together when Claudia's mom tells her about the breadcrumbs and how you must leave some sort of trace behind for people to know exactly where you are, for people to know exactly how you're doing. And that is where we see the thing with the books, and that one book that Monday was constantly checking out of the library. And everyone is telling Claudia that that book is not cool, that the book deals with a lot of disturbing things about child abuse and about murder and about captivity, that why would Monday be reading that? And there were a lot of other books that Monday was also checking out along those same lines that were quite literally a cry for help from Monday's end. And it tore my heart apart to see in that moment in time how Monday was not happy with her situation, and she was trying to leave all those hints behind. She was trying to scream for help in whatever way she could, and nobody paid attention but Claudia. And that is where the topic kicks in of everyone failed Monday and her brother August, who was also murdered. Which, before we even get into that, Monday's mom, when she goes into her whole monologue on why she killed August, because he was annoying and because she just wanted him to stop crying and yelling, and she was still not regretful of that, and how if it were up to her, she would have left Monday rotting in that closet because she could not care about her own child. That was insane to read about, and the sad reality is that it does happen. And so again, everyone ended up failing these kids except for the other kid, for Claudia, the one person who was continuously trying to bring this subject to light, to bring justice to her best friend, and who ultimately again was murdered alongside her younger brother, and nobody ever listened. It was most definitely a condemnation to authority who continuously fails kids and families such as these. It's absolutely horrifying to think about the fact that systems within authority, particularly in the US, which is where this book takes place, continuously fails Black young folk like this. It was so eye-opening to read a book that threads this subject in such an intricate manner, where it feels realistic, where it feels current, and it was raw and gut-wrenching to see how the system continuously fails children like these and don't give them the attention that they deserve. Whether it's social workers, whether it's the police force, whether it's lawyers, whatever it might be, these subjects, this abuse needs the attention that it obviously deserves. That one point in the book where I genuinely wanted to bawl my eyes out was this one quote that we get more towards the end, when Claudia finally finds finds out that she has been in and out because of her mental illness, and that she has been continuously forgetting and remembering the happenings of the whole Monday situation. And the quote says, "You did save her, Claudia. You saved her from that house so many times and you didn't even know it." I think that quote in particular really sums up all that Claudia did for Monday and all of the effort that she went through without realizing how much it meant, how much she actually didn't know, but how extensive her help was. But it was important for her at the end of the book to recognize that she did all that she could, and that wasn't even her mission to accomplish, but rather of a system that is broken, or that, as I have said before, is working out perfectly with all of these issues. Another thing that I just really want to highlight, because I did not give love to this character throughout the entirety of my vlog, and that is Michael. I will admit I was sus of Michael the entire time, and by the end of the book I was like, okay, Michael is a good guy. Michael is absolutely everything, because Michael was there for every step of the journey for Claudia, and he was continuously helping her go through this very traumatic event that clearly has left some sort of footprint in Claudia's life, and he is doing that because he genuinely cares and he is willing to be there for her no matter what it takes. A prize of honor and care and kindness for Michael. As you guys know, I absolutely love the dual timeline, so the whole timeline thing, although it was kind of confusing at times, it definitely was my cup of tea. It added a level of complexity to the story, and it again added to Claudia's character in a way that I never would have predicted. So that aspect of the book I definitely enjoyed so much. I think what ultimately made me not give this book a 5-star was the ending, which was confusing to me. Some things weren't still adding up. I personally gave Monday's Not Coming 4 out of 5 stars, which is still again a very incredible rating. And yeah, that is all that I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and comment down below if you have read these books, what you thought of them. I hope that if you got through the reading vlog in its entirety that you have read these books, because this was incredibly spoilery. If you have, or if you haven't, let me know all of your thoughts down below. If you have read Allegedly or Let Me Hear a Rhyme, also let me know, because I am very interested in going into both of those books as well. And if you reach the end of the video, let's leave down below some yellow emojis, whatever yellow emoji you want, whether that's the heart, a yellow flower, whatever you want. Let's leave some yellow emojis down below, and don't forget to subscribe down below for more bookish content. Again, I am constantly uploading videos that I'm sure you do not want to miss, as well as live streaming throughout the week, doing my weekly reading sprints, and all of my socials are also down below. I have a Twitter, Instagram, Goodreads, and an Amazon wish list. You guys know the deal. I always forget about my Ko-fi. I also have a Ko-fi, however that's pronounced. It's also linked down below. I'm a freaking mess, y'all. But yeah, love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.